Here's the interesting thing for people sitting at home. People in their 30s and 40s, they really don't use AI that much. Now, let me say at least 30. Most people are having kids in their 30s now. If you're in your 40s and you have a 12-year-old kid, you're going to baseball games and football games, you're going to lacrosse games. You don't have the time to sit and do OpenClaw. But for people in their 50s, like me, where their kids are already off to college,
That's interesting.
people in their 20s, there's a gap that's happening. And the young people are using OpenClaw. But I'm starting now to get the best ideas from 50-plus-year-olds that are putting the time into it. So if you're watching this or listening to this and you're in your 50s, you have no excuse. These are amazing things. And the things that people have built that they showed me, I went, oh my gosh, I'm not doing enough with this. It is amazing, the things that I've heard. And the reason I bring it up for this conversation, the labor pressure for all of this stuff is now increasing. You and I have joked about digital employees. Using OpenClaw allows you to have as many employees as you want to have, to literally do stuff and to be able to go through this. So I think we've entered a period where if the economy starts to slow down, what's that going to do to the job situation? If you need to make numbers, are you more apt to err on the side now of reducing labor faster? They've been doing this while the economy's been good and earnings estimates have been going up. I worry about the labor situation for this year. Actually, if the oil price stays up here, that these companies that are already thinking about now how to incorporate the agentic side into their business, that they realize that this is the best time to take a hit on their earnings in terms of spending money and then reduce their headcount as the offset because people had been rewarded. I worry about the fact that for a lot of the deflation that's happening in the software side, that people are underestimating how fast this is going to go. And it makes sense that they were the first ones to be disrupted.
I actually think I disagree a little bit with you. We have not in any of our businesses gotten rid of a piece of software because we built it internally. What we have done, though, is not hired people that we thought we were going to have to hire because it's like we've been able to automate the role before we had a human in the role. We have not laid anyone off because of this. Maybe that everyone who works for us, maybe that'll happen. But when you think about it from that perspective, it is like the labor part of this. If you're 25 years old and you don't know anything about AI, I would be very nervous right now, right? And so it really does come back to me on, okay, these businesses, how many of them are going to use this stuff versus the ones that are going to be able to persist? A restaurant, I actually think is super interesting because they can probably use a lot of this stuff, right? It's not a high-flying tech company.
Yep.
I got a friend in the industrial space. He runs like an electric components business. He's like, dude, we're running rapid throughout our entire business trying to figure out how to implement this. And so I think your point about like, this is going to become so pervasive, still to this day, people are drastically underestimating how pervasive it will be.
They are. And let me push back on something you said and just give you a very simple analogy. Your argument that I hear repeatedly from people about, I'm not getting rid of my software. If you're going to be priced as a growth asset in a world that used to have growth like this, the world has changed. And so I will emphasize it again because I care about the people trying to manage their money right now. I do not think there will be a recession. I think you're going to have a better buying opportunity for things. Go through the volatility this year and hope that the semiconductors come down again. Hope. We've had a correction in silver. I'm buying silver in terms of companies this week because I, in my mind, believe that 3 years from now, silver will be needed because of all the drones and all of the technology and all the semiconductors. I'm not touching software because 3 years from now, I think they will be like the VHS video machine. You're not going to be selling anymore because people are going to gradually be migrating. So there's no growth for it. I want to be long commodities. I want to be long compute. If people get a chance, listen to the Dwarkesh Patel, Dylan Patel interview from this week. Phenomenal. And all he talked about is the biggest problem is we don't have enough memory and we don't have enough compute right now relative to the demand that has now shown up because of OpenClaw. Agentics use a tremendous more amount of compute. And that's why Jensen Huang is talking about it. That's why he made the pivot to inference. I think Jensen Huang this week said the world will realize that this is now a token economy, that the most important commodity in the world is tokens.